Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we are back with another video. And in today's episode, guys, Genesis chapter 8. Let's get it. But God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind blow over the earth, and the waters were subsided, or they became a lot less intense. So, when I kind of view that, I view it as like whenever Noah was in the ark and it rained for 40 days and for 40 nights. And when the waters, how we went back in Genesis chapter 7, they're talking about how, the waters went up as high as and higher than the mountains. And then it stopped. But so I kind of view that as like, just like the seas. The seas, sometimes you have storms and sometimes the waves are crashing and moving all around. So they became a lot less intense. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed, and rain from the heavens were restrained, and the waters receded from the earth continually. At the end of 150 days, the waters had abated, so they became a lot less intense, or they became to lessen down. But God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind blow over the earth, and the waters subsided. So it became a lot less intense. They kind of calmed down a little bit. There wasn't any storms or anything whatsoever. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heaven were closed, and rain from the heavens were restrained. So the rain stopped, and the waters receded from the earth continually. So they eventually became a lot less intense and violent. And the waters receded from the earth continually. And at the end of 150 days, the waters had abated. So that means after 150 days, it became a lot less intense. There wasn't any storms, waves crashing into each other, trying to destroy everything is what God was intending. And in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest upon the mountain of Ararat, and the waters continued to abate until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. At the end of the 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark, which he made, and sent forth a raven, and it went to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. Then he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters had subsided, or to see if they became a lot less violent from the face of the ground. But the dove found no place to set her foot, and she returned to him in the ark, for the waters were still on the face of the whole earth. So he put forth his hand and took her and brought her into the ark with him. He waited another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove of the ark, and the dove came back to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth a freshly picked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the waters had subsided from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days, and he sent forth the dove, and she did not return to him any more. Most likely she's found land and she stayed there. But that symbolizes to Noah that, okay, there is actual land that's habitable. Because right now, remember, it says up here, the ark came, okay, yeah, and in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. So on some of them, it's actually funny enough, the mountains of Ararat is actually in Turkey. It's real close to the border of like Iran, Turkey, and I forgot there's another country too. But and even if y'all look it up on your zone, you can look it up. Look up the mountains of Ararat, this word right here, Ararat, and look up Noah's Ark, and it will pop up kind of like you can see like in the ground of them, you can see like a big ship that was there at one point because it's like sunken in. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so it was on the mountains of Iraq. It rested, but obviously you can't. Noah has so many different types of animals in the ark. He's once, as like I said, it rested upon the mountains of Ararat, but it's not suitable for animals to just. He couldn't just open them up and just let them hang out because he's on the mountains of them, right? It's like mountains are usually steep. It's not flat whatsoever. So because in the beginning, remember, rain covered over the mountains. It was like 15, I think, or 50 cubits, and then they calmed down slowly, and then they eventually started. The earth started to suck up the water. Everything was returning normal. Everything was going to return back to normal slowly, but it wasn't there yet. But the mountains of Arat, the peaks of it, he kind of rested his boat on there to rest. He's sending out ravens. He's sending out doves, and one of them brought back what does it say that? It says oh, I lost my track. Oh, freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the waters had subsided from the earth, meaning as in, okay, I'm sure there's still a lot of water, but there's some of parts that are actually ground now because they're returning back to normal levels. Then he waited another 7 days and sent forth the dove, and she did not return to him anymore. In the 601st year, and the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. Because remember, Noah was born. For the first 500 years, he had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Then for the next one, on the 600th year of his birth, of like him living, the flood came. So for an entire year, you're looking at him being inside in the ark with all the animals. So imagine that. Like, imagine the smell of the shit and birds pooping everywhere and animals' furs everywhere. So I bet he was tired, him and his family. But yeah, so 600 year happened, and then so for an entire year, pretty much, in the first month of the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, enough for it to be suitable, like for like to open up the ark. So and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Go forth from the ark, you and your wife, and your sons and your sons' wives with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, all flesh, birds and animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth." So Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, and every beast, every creeping thing, every bird, everything that moves upon the earth went forth by the families out of the ark. So then Noah built an altar to the Lord on the ground, on the dry land, and took of every clean animal and every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. So he burnt the clean animal. Remember back in the last episode, if you didn't watch last episode, you can go. I'll reference it back at the end of the video, where we talk about what's a clean and unclean animal in the eyes of God. So Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And remember, whenever it came to the clean animals, he brought 7 of their kind. So he brought an abundant amount of clean animals for this purpose. And when the Lord smelled the pleasing odor, the Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground because of man. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I ever again destroy every living creature as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." So why did Noah build? So yeah, even like, I don't know why. Like, did Noah willingly make an altar and offer sacrifices? I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure God, I don't know, or because remember, God told him before, you need to make sure you bring more clean animals than unclean of their kind. So, and Noah, I don't know, it doesn't say in the Bible, but I'm sure he probably was, or I don't know, maybe he didn't question them whatsoever. He just said, okay. But it's like, did Noah do that willingly? Or did God say, hey, you need to do these burnt offerings? I would assume God told him to do these things, you know? I don't know, maybe saying like, okay, my son Noah, or like my boy Noah, the moment I can smell what does it say? when the moment I can smell the pleasing odor of the burnt animals on the altar is the moment that I know humanity has been saved, or the job has been done. For my job's done, I don't know, but God liked the smell of it. But he said he would never again curse the ground because of man, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. So God's saying, he's just like, you know what, man, my creation is evil from the moment that they're born. That, well, maybe not evil, but, well, he did say it's evil, but you can, I guess, I mean, it's true, right? Like, even look at us today. Like, the reason why we needed the Ten Commandments, or the reason why we have laws in our society, is because, to kind of, tell us what not to do, what's right and wrong. But it's interesting though, how like God was like, yeah, these, like, human beings, they have an inherent, you know, bad part in them, a sinful a sinful, like, desire from birth. So it's neither will I ever again destroy every living creature as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. So he's pretty much saying that the earth will always remain, you know, cold and hot, summer, winter, day and night shall not cease. So we don't have to worry about that now, I guess. No more floods anymore. But that's it for pretty much chapter 8. I think that was the biggest things was, at least when I were reading, rethinking it, was how long it was. It was pretty much about a year till, from the moment the flood started. They're all in the ark. Noah, his wife, his sons, and his son's wife. And those are the only human beings. Those are the only men that have survived. There's nobody else. Think about that, right? Like, you are on an ark with so many different types of animals, and your family is the only family alive on the entire planet. It's pretty crazy. Like, there's no, oh shoot, let's go over down to, or maybe there might be some people over there we can stop by. It's like, nope. It's only you, and that's it. Um, but yeah, so it was pretty much about a year until he was able to, you know, God told him to open up the ark and let the animals go. Um, the Noah burning them as an offering, and then God smelling it, was kind of a little bit, you know, something a little bit weird, a little bit. I don't understand that part, but I don't know. I guess that's how God wanted it to be. And then God saying, you know what, I'm not going to curse the ground like I ever did before. So, and hey, but yeah, that's it for chapter 8, guys. I hope you guys like it. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna go to bed. So you guys have a good night. Peace.